And we're back to our EquiTalks program. I'm your host, JC de Guzman. We are now on the 10th episode of our daily EquiTalks episode. Would you imagine that after about almost 2 weeks of recording these videos, we're now on the 10th episode? And by the way, for those of you who may have missed the previous 9 episodes, I would recommend that you can still catch up on those episodes and you can still pick up one or two things that you might be able to use in your future trades, some lessons or two, some lesson or a few lessons from those videos, audios, and some case notes. Here's what you can do so you can review those previous 9 episodes. Visit www.equilist.com. You spelled that as EQUILYST.com, and then you click on Learn, and then you click on either EquiTalks Video, EquiTalks Audio, EquiTalks Note. So those labels speak for themselves. If you are a visual learner, watch the videos. If you are an auditory learner, click on the audio. If you love reading, if you prefer reading, I would recommend that you click on EquiTalks Note. Okay, so that's where you will find that is our repository of our EquiTalks episodes for the past 9 days. Okay, so in this 10th episode, I'd like to talk about DMW. No, this is not the this is not the model for a car. This is not BMW. I said DMW. That's DM Wenceslao and Associates Incorporated. Before we talk about the chart of DMW, I'd like to talk about the dividends, if it has any future dividend announcements. Based on what we see on the website of edge.pse.com.ph, DMW has no future dividends announced yet. It had one with the next dividend date of February 27, 2019, and you are supposed to receive your cash dividend on March 28, 2019. Now, one of the frequently asked questions when it comes to dividends is this: Sir, will I receive dividends if I buy or sell before, on, or after the ex-dividend date? I'm going to answer that. There are 3 different dates that you can see on your screen right now: ex-dividend date, record date, payment date. Just remember one when it comes to qualifications on whether you will receive or not some dividends. And what is that date? That's the ex-dividend date. So here's the thing. If you will buy before the ex-dividend date and you will hold those shares until the ex-dividend date, then you will receive dividends for those shares. On the other hand, if you will buy either on or after the ex-dividend date, then those shares will no longer be included in the dividends. Okay? Now, if you will okay, if you will sell before the ex-dividend date, those shares will no longer be entitled to receive the dividend. However, if you will sell either on or after the ex-dividend date, then those shares will still receive dividends. Just keep on replaying that part if you'd like to. If those things did not sink in immediately, just keep on replaying that part. I'm sure after playing it once, playing it twice, you would get the answer to the if I buy on or before after, if I sell on or before after. You will get the drill. Okay? You'll get used to it. Now let's move on to the chart of DMW. Okay, as of Monday, March 18, 2019, DMW. Okay, let me pull up the chart of DMW. DMW closed at 11.32. Okay. Okay, 11.32 pesos per share. And I'm going to plot the immediate support and resistance levels of this stock right now. Okay, you can see how I do it on my screen. Okay, if you are watching, for those who are listening to the podcast, I'm going to mention the support and resistance levels of DMW in a few seconds. Okay, I'm just plotting them right now. I'm clicking on the screen. Okay, so again, it closed on Monday at 11.32. Immediate resistance is at 11.80. Immediate support is at 10.49. The major support is at 9.6. Okay, let's make that 10.49 10.50, so that it's around the number, whole number. Anyway, there you go. Why did I put it at 10.56? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Anyways, that's 10.50. Okay, let's make it 10.50 for an easy recall. Okay. Now, this closing price is already moving above the 10-day and then the 50-day moving averages. So, in the short-term time period, DMW is obviously bullish. Okay, it's obviously bullish. It managed to break out above its resistance near 10.40 last Friday. And that ascendant price last Friday came with a strong bullish volume. How strong is strong? How do I know if it's strong volume? Well, if it's above the 10-day volume average of the stock. And how do I know where is the 10-day volume average? Isn't it 11-day volume average? What about it's a 7-day volume average? Well, that's easy peasy. How do you do that? Here's how I do it. Just click on volume, then click on settings, and then make sure that you put in number 10 on the moving average length. I think by default this is 9. I'm not sure though whether it's 9 or automatically 10. Just put in 10. Okay. Now I'm using the trading view. I'm using the trading view chart, and I plotted the volume histogram. So this mountain-like shadow in the background, that's the position of the 10-day volume average. So last Monday, yesterday, and last Friday, those volume bars are both above the 10-day volume average of DMW. So here you go. If it's a green candlestick, and that green candlestick is supported by a green volume bar that is above its 10-day volume average, then for me, the ascent in price is more likely to continue. The opposite is true. If it's a red candlestick and the volume bar is above the 10-day volume average, then, therefore, the descent in price is more likely to continue as well. Okay? I said more likely. I did not say surely. Okay? We're not talking about certainties or guarantees in the stock market. This is all about a game of statistics and probabilities, or probabilities and statistics. Okay? All right. Now, take a look at this one. Last Friday and Monday, yesterday, DMW gained traction, gained some interest from the foreign investors. Last Friday, DMW got nearly 13 million pesos worth of net foreign buying. Then last Monday, it got about 12 million pesos again of net foreign buying. Although that's not as sizable as their participations among index stocks, but that speaks volume. When you see a green candlestick and the volume bar is above the 30-day volume average, and then the foreign investors are also participating into the buying spree, that speaks volume about the bullishness of the prevailing sentiment toward that stock. Okay, so that's how I mix and match these things that I'm seeing on my screen, and that's how I develop or form my overall sentiment toward the stock as well. Okay, MACD is also in the bullish territory. RSI, although it's nearing the overbought territory, the 80% score. Mind you, sometimes when the RSI hits the 80% level, it's not always a signal for you to sell just because it's quote unquote overbought. No, sometimes when RSI is nearing the 80% level, sometimes it's not a signal for you to get out. Sometimes it's a signal or a confirmation of the ongoing bullish sentiment of the stock. So for you not to get whipsawed, for you not to get wiped out of the game too early, here's my suggestion. You use a trailing stop loss. Use a trailing stop loss. There's a word trailing, not just the plain stop loss, guys, okay? Not just the plain stop loss, but the trailing stop loss. I wrote several articles about this trailing stop loss thingy. Just go to equalist.com, then you will see this search bar on top. Type in trailing stop loss and just read those articles that are connected or linked to trailing stop loss so you will understand what this strategy is. Now, for the Equalist Analytics subscribers, by now you're already marinated by this trailing stop loss thing. You should be familiar by this already by now. Now, if you are a new subscriber, just visit the newsletters tab, then read newsletter volume 1 number 13. I explained what a trailing stop loss is and how to calculate it in vernacular, in Tagalog and Filipino. Okay? So just so you know, for me to make sure that you really would understand the concept behind the trailing stop loss. Okay, now DMW has historical volatility of 39%, and that puts it at a low risk level. Okay. Okay, now what's my overall sentiment on DMW? So based on these things that I've seen, that I'm seeing on the chart with you, my overall sentiment is bullish. Mr. De Guzman, does that mean it's generally okay to trade DMW still? Is it okay to chase the stock, especially that it's already at 11.32 right now? Well, there your question may sound like a close-ended question that deserves a yes or no answer, but it can't be answered with a yes or no. The answer is it depends. It depends on your investment horizon and your risk tolerance. Okay, first thing, if you are a relatively new trader, my answer to that question is also a question. And what is it? Are you happy with your reward to risk ratio? Okay. Are you happy with your reward to risk ratio? Uh, as far as the position of DMW is concerned, how do you calculate your reward to risk ratio? Let's say this potential loss at 9.6 or 10.48 is your risk, and this resistance at 11.8 is your potential gain. Then you'll just do the math so you can calculate the reward to risk ratio for that. Well, just by looking at the chart here, you know, hey, wait a minute, the candlestick of the last price is closer to the resistance than to the support. Therefore, that reduces the potential gain, meaning to say there's a bigger risk than the potential reward. You don't even have to do the arithmetic, right? Just look at the picture. This green candlestick is closer to the resistance than to the support area. And when it's closer to the resistance, assuming you will use the resistance line as your potential reward, then it goes without saying that you have a bigger risk. This gap, this height here, you have a bigger risk than your potential reward. The question is, you are a relatively new trader. Can you stomach that kind of reward to risk ratio? Okay. Now, if you're a relatively young or new trader, my advice is that you pick stocks that give you a reward to risk ratio of at least 2 is to 1, 2.5 is to 1, 3 is to 1 reward to risk ratio. Okay? You pick those stocks. But for now, maybe DMW is a candidate for monitoring, for you to study, not for you to trade, maybe for now. But as you gain experience and knowledge on basically what I'm doing right now, then you could actually, maybe you could then try to, uh, buy on Breakout, just like what happened to DMW. Okay. Now, for those who are experienced, do you still need my advice if you are experienced already? Okay, here's the thing. If you already have, if you are already holding a position on DMW, all you have to do is to know where your trailing stop loss is. Then you can top up if you'd like to top up on your position In tranches, not in, if you have, let's say, if you have 100,000 pesos, don't buy 100,000 pesos worth of DMW shares at once. Do it in tranches. It's up to if you'd like to divide your 100K into 4, 3, or 2. But don't spend it. Don't buy it. Don't use it at once. Okay? Never go all in. Never go all in, guys. Okay, now, um, know where your trailing stop loss is, and then you have the option to top up. Okay, you have the option to top up, so you can ride on to the momentum. Now, just in case, uh, the price goes south after topping up, okay, at least you are protected because you are using a trailing stop loss. There's a protection. You are using a trailing stop loss. Okay, so that's the strategy that I would recommend for DMW. But that is for those who already have a position on DMW. How about for those who don't have, who totally don't have a position on DMW yet, and you are an experienced trader? Well, you just have to decide. Just like what I've made the relatively young new traders a while back, what I've made them realize a while back. You ask yourself, okay, I am an experienced trader, but there's a bigger potential risk than the potential reward. But I think I already know what I'm doing. I'm going to use a trailing stop loss anyway, and I've been doing this for 30 years, let's say. So you have to do some self-talk as well. You have to do some self-talk. My advice is this, and if you are an experienced trader, I don't think this is something that will surprise you. Monitor the price volume distribution, the volume review. Okay. Right now, I can't show that to you because it's already 8:58 and there's no trading yet. There's nothing that we can see on the volume review tab of DMW. And most brokers clear their data from yesterday's time and sales data, so we cannot already see the time and sales data for yesterday's trading. But as soon as the opening bell rings at 9:30, I suggest that you monitor the volume from within the first 15 to 30 minutes of trading. That's when volatility spikes, okay? Within the first 15 to 30 minutes of trading until 10 a.m., which could extend until 10:30. Okay? If you see a strong demand to buy the stock at a higher price, higher than 11.32, then you catch that range that got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades, and that's where you position your top up buying price. However, if the price descends or declines lower than 11.32 within the first 15 to 30 minutes of trading, you will also have to reevaluate the price volume review, price volume distribution of DMW. Find out which range got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades. Most probably it will be below 11.32. So that's where you need to park your buying price. Okay. On the other hand, if the price is strongly descending, then I don't recommend buying right away. You continue observing. You continue observing. Okay. So there you go for. I hope you got something new. You've learned something from my analysis on DMW. Um, if you have some questions regarding this analysis, feel free to comment on the video or on our SoundCloud. Don't forget to, by the way, do not forget to like our YouTube channel, our social media accounts, our SoundCloud, Facebook, join our Facebook group. We are on Instagram. Where else? We have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're on Tumblr. We're on Tumblr as well. We are on Pinterest, Instagram, SoundCloud. So you will find all of our social media accounts at the bottom on the footer of our website. Footer. Here you go. Okay? So that you don't miss every single EquiTalks episode. There you go. And by the way, if you'd like to get more, this is just a free stuff, by the way. And if you've learned something from this free stuff, freemium stuff, as I call it, surely you would get some more when you subscribe to our services. So just click on visit our website at www.equalist.com. Click on services, click on subscription, and then read those pages that says trade setups for short-term trading, investment guide for long-term investing, and stock market consultation. And then subscribe if you think that's the kind of service that you've been looking for. When you subscribe, we got you covered. We can help you when it comes to short-term trading, long-term investing, and you can also ask follow-up questions through our private clients forum. So we got you covered. Okay? We're not just about long-term investing, we're not just about short-term trading. We're both. We can help you with both. And lastly, I would like to introduce to you our seminars. We have the seminars page on our website. This coming May 4, let me confirm that if it's indeed May 4. Yeah, this May 4 in Makati, I'm going to conduct a 4-hour seminar about my evergreen strategy to profit in the stock market. So, by the way, I would like to accommodate only 30 people in this in every seminar. This is for me to be able to address or answer everyone's questions. I don't want to go out of the room leaving some questions unanswered. So I just want to have very limited number of people in the room so I can really focus in giving substantial, detailed answer in every question. Okay, so first come first serve. Okay, 30 packs only, 30 people only for this May 4. Make sure that you buy your ticket. Otherwise, I don't know when will the second batch be because my calendar is already full for 2019 and my team is yet to record or input all of my seminars for the entire year. So I am not sure if the batch 1 in Manila will batch 2 in Manila will be conducted this year as well, just in case we get uh, more registrations, more people interested to attend the seminar. So I'm not sure if it will be this year or next year. So you hurry up, okay? Hurry up and buy your tickets for the May 4 Manila Batch 1. All right, so there you go. You've heard the 10th episode for the EquiTalks. Okay, and we discussed DMW again. I'm your host, JC De Guzman, and may you have a great day. Bye for now.